Hey friends, so I've been playing a bit of Monster Hunter Wilds, and I've reached a point where I'm farming for min-maxed endgame weapons. And not surprisingly, I stumbled across some videos and Steam reviews of the game that point out issues that come off as more of a perspective and inability to play games in any other way, other than in an archaic mindset of just defeating enemies being the ultimate goal. It doesn't matter on the method you use, so long as you defeat the designated enemy, you win. And don't get me wrong, that is a completely fine and normal mindset to have while playing games. But when it hinders your ability to have fun or feel challenged, I think it's beneficial to adopt new and alternative mindsets, especially for technical skill-based games. This video will be a short one targeted to players who are having issues thinking the game is too easy, and I hope to help remedy that. This does not excuse the game design flaws, but it's more of a solution for you to enjoy the game more, instead of not being able to do anything about it while thinking the only way to express yourself is resigning to the sentiment of the game being too easy. Now I will only touch on the approach to combat itself, since that's where I feel I am most confident in. Topics like pre-hunt preparations and other QOL stuff I will leave up to each player's preference, since I think it's too subjective. Also, hunt preparations will be almost completely irrelevant, because I will suggest not to even use items as you will see later in the video. With all that pretext out of the way, let's get into why you think Monster Hunter Wilds is too easy. From what I've been observing, most of these complaints come from players who started in Monster Hunter World. Just for context, I started in 4U, and I do agree, as you move back in time, the games do get more difficult. But it's not as simple as congealing the entire gameplay into a single metric called difficulty and calling it a day. A huge part of why World was more difficult than Wilds is because of how clunky the weapons controlled. You had to compensate for how stiff the weapons are as to not get hit while you recover from a million-year-long animation recovery. Hence, the fights were closer to a Souls-like where you would take your attack window, sheath your weapon and run away or block while the monster does some attacks, then you go back in and rinse and repeat. I understand that some weapons have the ability for some counterplay during such situations, but it was not available to all weapons. Some, if not most people, do like this more methodical approach to action gameplay, but I personally think it's really boring. It becomes more of a battle of attrition instead of quick thinking and skill. There was also a real issue of flash bomb and trap spamming that the devs had to nerf because it was too easy to turn off the monster's mechanics at the press of a button. This has returned in Wilds, although not as severe. It still is much too easy to turn off the monster's mechanics and allow yourself free hits. How many times have you hopped on an SOS quest and all you see is flash bombs every 5 seconds? But I do have a solution, at least for solo hunts. The saving grace of all this is that we do have a choice to not use items. No palicos, no flash bombs, no traps, no healing, no items. This is a mindset I've adopted since MHGU. It just made sense to me that since you have the weapon kits to deal with a lot of the situations thrown at you by the monster, you should use them. What's the point of having all of your moveset when all you end up doing is turning off the mechanics anyway and spamming your highest DPS combo? At that point, you might as well be playing a pen and paper RPG. It has added much more fun and content to my experience when I test my knowledge of my weapon of choice. And the fear of carting also adds more suspense when you don't allow yourself to heal. It would make the hunt all that much more exciting. Now, before anyone gets triggered, all I've said so far does not apply to speedruns, obviously, since the objective is purely fastest time to kill and the method is depending on the rule set. Adding onto my no item usage suggestion, you could take it a step further by going for no hit run. Now, I don't mean the kind where you sheath your weapon and wait around till it's safe to attack. I mean, take your perfect parries, your perfect dodges, your guard points, all the mechanics that makes your weapon unique, all while getting the fastest hunt times you possibly can. This will really test your skills and matchup knowledge. It's what truly makes the combat shine if you have such a target in mind. Anybody can beat monsters, but can anybody go through a hunt without getting hit and relying on items, while being able to sneak in every opportunity for damage? I don't think so, not unless you put some practice in. And once you are able to do it, the feeling of achievement you get is special to say the least. Another thing is that you're not limited to one weapon or one monster. You have so many combinations to try out, so that's just much more content for yourself to enjoy if you ask me. So I guess to summarize my point, mastery is a goal you could set for yourself in order to not fall into the game being too easy and not having enough content pitfall. Trap. Wait. I think that's all I have to share at the moment. If I see more topics I have opinions on, I will probably make another video. For now, I hope that my thoughts and suggestions can help you enjoy the game more. For the viewers who enjoy my DD2 content, I haven't stopped playing the game. It's just that I can't find reasons to make content for it right now. But do let me know if you still would like gameplay montages or stuff like that in the comments. Or if you have suggestions on what you would like me to cover for the game, it is more than welcome. That's all for now. Jester signing off.